In this video, we're going to look at how to divide one complex number by another in order to express them in the now familiar form of a plus bi. So that is a real part plus an imaginary part. Let's have a look at how we divide two complex numbers. So let's start by thinking about this number, 3 over 4 plus I. So that's not in the form that we typically want for a complex number. The form we usually want is a plus bi, the real part plus the imaginary part. Now we can express this in that form using the really nice property of the difference of two squares and how that relates to something called complex conjugates. So notice that if I was to take 4 plus I and multiply it by 4 minus I, we get 4 times 4 is 16. And then the negative 4i that I get here, 4 times minus I, cancels with the I times 4, the positive 4i here. So negative 4i plus 4i, they cancel, and I'm just left with I times negative I, which is minus 1 times minus 1, so it's just plus 1. And that's 17. So what I can effectively do is I can multiply the top and the bottom by the term which will introduce a difference of two squares multiplication here, 4 minus I and 4 minus I. Now we use this so much in complex numbers that this type of number is known as the complex conjugate of a complex number. So it has this special name. So if you have a complex number which is a plus bi, then its complex conjugate, which we call z star, is a minus bi. So it is simply the very same number, but with the imaginary part multiplied by minus 1. So if it was positive, it will go negative. If it's negative, it goes positive. So when you multiply the top and bottom by the complex conjugate, you get this really nice result. On the numerator, I simply get 3 times 4, which is 12, and 3 times minus I, which is minus 3i. And on the denominator, well, I just get 17. And that's the cool thing. Multiplying a complex number by its conjugate always gives a real number. And now I can express this in the form of a plus bi, because the real part is 12 over 17. There's a real number. And the imaginary part is, well, it's negative 3 over 17i. So there is my complex number, 12 over 17 minus 3 over 17i. We can use the same thing to calculate divisions like this. We simply look at what's happening in the denominator and we multiply the top and bottom by that complex conjugate, so 3 minus 2i. And we have to multiply the top by the same thing, otherwise we'd be changing it. And I simply expand the top and the bottom. So on the top I have 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times minus 2i is minus 4i. Minus I times 3 is minus 3i. And minus I times minus 2i, well, the negatives cancel. And I times I is minus 1, so I have minus 2. Now on the denominator, I'm expecting this to simply be a real number. So 3 times 3 is 9. Now I do get a 3 times minus 2i, so a minus 6i. But I also get a 2i times 3, which is positive 6i. They cancel. That's the whole point. I then get 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And I times I is negative 1. So that's plus 4. So neatened up a bit, the real part on the top is 6 minus 2 is 4. The imaginary part is minus 4i minus 3i is minus 7i. And on the denominator, it's 13. So my complex number is 4 over 13, there's the real part, and the imaginary part is minus 7 over 13i. And so that's what this division is. So 2 minus I over 3 plus 2i is the same as this, 4 thirteenths minus 7 thirteenths I. If you're feeling confident, have a go at this one on your own. It's really the same thing. We multiply top and bottom by the complex conjugate, which is 2 plus 3i. We expand. We expect the bottom to be a real number. The numerator can be any complex number. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3i is 3i. 4i times 2 is 8i. 4i times 3i, well, 4 times 3 is 12, and I squared is negative 1, so that's minus 12. On the denominator, 2 times 2 is 4. And now, after you've done a few of these, you expect these middle terms to cancel, so you don't always need to do this check, but it's good at the beginning to just check. 2 times 3i is 6i. Negative 3i times 2 is negative 6i, they cancel. And then I've got negative 3 times 3 is minus 9, and I times I is minus 1, so that's plus 9. So what do we get in total? Well, the real part is 2 minus 12 is minus 10. The imaginary part, 3i plus 8i, is plus 11i. All over 4 plus 9 is 13. So in total, I get minus 10 over 13 plus 11 over 13i. Okay, let's look at one quite challenging example. So z is p plus 5i over p minus 2i, where p is a positive real number. Given that the real part of z is a half, find the value of p. Well, we can simply begin by multiplying top and bottom by the complex conjugate here, because we know that will give us a real denominator. So that's p plus 2i, and I'll multiply the top by p plus 2i as well. Let's see what we get. We get z equals, well, that numerator is p times p, which is p squared. Then I have p times 2i and 5i times p. So that's 2pi plus 5pi. That's a total of 7pi. And then I've got 5i times 2i. 5 times 2 is 10. I times I is negative 1. So that's minus 10. And the denominator? Well, p times p is p squared. The central terms will cancel. That's the p times 2i and the minus 2i times p. And then I've got minus 2i times 2i. Well, minus 2i times 2 is minus 4. I times I is minus 1. That's p squared plus 4. Okay, so they've told us that the real part of z is a half. So what is the real part of z and what's the imaginary part? Well, the denominator is entirely real. The numerator has a real part and an imaginary part. The real part is p squared minus 10 over p squared plus 4. Well, the imaginary part is, well, it's this bit here. So that's 7p over p squared plus 4, and it's that many I. And they've told us that the real part of z, that's this part here, is 1/2. So I just need to set that equal to a half and solve. P squared minus 10 over p squared plus 4 equals a half. And I just need to solve this. I'll do that by multiplying both sides by p squared plus 4. So I have p squared minus 10 is half p squared, and then half times 4 is plus 2. Subtract half p squared from both sides to get half p squared. Add 10 to both sides to get 12. Multiply both sides by 2. P squared equals 24. And since I'm told that p is a positive real number, I can just take the positive square root of 24. So I can either write that as root 24, or if I want, I could express this as 2 root 6. And there's our answer. Now this is a great one to check on a calculator. Now if you're using this calculator, it has a complex number mode. If you go to menu and you scroll across here, you get a complex number mode. Now if you don't have this calculator, as long as you have any modern scientific calculator, it should have a complex number mode. So let's try this. So let's key this in. I'll set up my fraction. So p is 2 root 6. Let's try this. So 2 root 6. So we can just key this in. 2 root 6. And that's plus 5i. Plus 5. And where's I? Well, I is here, right? It's that purple one here. And I just press it. I don't need to press shift or anything. There it is. divided by p minus 2i, so 2 root 6 minus 2i. And what do we get? Well, we get this. And yes, look, the real part of that number is indeed a half. We didn't care about the imaginary part, we just were worried about the real part. So there it is. We can use our calculator to check these sorts of things, and we can use complex conjugates to convert denominators of complex numbers into real numbers.